The 2015-16 UEFA Youth League was the third season of the UEFA Youth League, a European youth club football competition organised by UEFA. After a two-year trial period, the UEFA Youth League became a permanent UEFA competition starting from this season, with the tournament expanded from 32 to 64 teams. Chelsea retained the title after defeating Paris Saint-Germain 2-1 in the final. Format changes. The UEFA Executive Committee held on 18 September 2014 approved the following changes to the UEFA Youth League starting from the 2015-16 season. The tournament is expanded from 32 to 64 teams. The 64 teams include the youth teams of the 32 clubs which participate in the UEFA Champions League group stage, which have been included since the first edition, as well as the youth domestic champions of the top 32 associations according to the UEFA country coefficients, which are included starting from this edition. Associations without a youth domestic champion as well as domestic champions already included in the UEFA Champions League path are replaced by the next association in the UEFA ranking. The new format of the competition sees the two groups of teams compete in separate paths until the playoffs. In the UEFA Champions League path, the 32 Champions League youth teams retain the group stage format and schedule which correspond to the Champions League group stage. The group winners advance to the round of 16, and the group runners-up advance to the playoffs. In the domestic champions path, the 32 youth domestic champions play 2 rounds of 2-leg ties, with the 8 winners advancing to the playoffs. In the playoffs, the youth domestic champions play a single match at home against the UEFA Champions League path group runners-up. In the round of 16, the UEFA Champions League path group winners play a single match against the winners of the playoffs. In the quarter-finals, semi-finals, and final, teams play each other over a single match. The under-19 age limit is retained, but clubs are able to include a maximum of 3 under-20 players in their overall list of 40 players for the competition, in order to alleviate the burden on players having school duties. Teams. A total of 64 teams from 37 of the 54 UEFA member associations entered the tournament. They were split into 2 sections. The youth teams of the 32 clubs which qualified for the 2015-16 UEFA Champions League group stage entered the UEFA Champions League path. The youth domestic champions of the top 32 associations according to the 2014 UEFA country coefficients entered the domestic champions path. Notes: squads. Players must be born on or after the 1st of January 1997, with a maximum of 3 players per team born between the 1st of January 1996 and the 31st of December 1996 allowed. Round and draw dates. The schedule of the competition was as follows. Notes for the UEFA Champions League path group stage. In principle, the teams play the matches on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, the same day as the corresponding senior teams in the UEFA Champions League. However, matches may also be played on other dates, including Mondays and Thursdays. For the domestic champions path first and second rounds, in principle matches are played on Wednesdays. However, matches may also be played on other dates, including Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. For the playoffs, round of 16 and quarter-finals, in principle matches are played on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. However, matches may also be played on other dates, provided they are completed before the following dates. Playoffs. Quarter-finals, the 18th of March 2016. UEFA Champions League path. For the UEFA Champions League path, the 32 teams were drawn into 8 groups of 4. There was no separate draw held, with the group compositions identical to the draw for the 2015-16 UEFA Champions League group stage, which was held in Monaco on the 27th of August 2015. In each group, teams played against each other home and away in a round-robin format. The 8 group winners advanced to the round of 16, while the 8 runners-up advanced to the playoffs, where they were joined by the 8 second-round winners from the domestic champions path. The match days were 15-16 September, 29-30 September 2021, October 3-4 November, 24-25 November, and 8-9 December 2015. Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, Group G, Group H. Domestic Champions path. For the domestic champions path, the 32 teams were drawn into 2 rounds of 2-legged home and away ties. The draw was held on the 1st of September 2015. There were no seedings, but the 32 teams were split into 4 groups defined by sporting and geographical criteria prior to the draw. In the first round, teams in the same group were drawn against each other. In the second round, the winners from Group 1 were drawn against the winners from Group 2, and the winners from Group 3 were drawn against the winners from Group 4, with the order of legs decided by draw. The 8 second-round winners advanced to the playoffs, where they were joined by the 8 group runners-up from the UEFA Champions League path. If the aggregate scores were level after full time of the second leg, the away goals rule was used to decide the winner. If still tied, the match was decided by a penalty shootout. First round. The first legs were played on 29 and the 30th of September, and the second legs were played on 7, 14, 20 and the 21st of October 2015. Notes: second round. The first legs were played on 4, the 5th of November and the 2nd of December, and the second legs were played on 24, the 25th of November and the 6th of December 2015. Playoffs. For the playoffs, the 16 teams were drawn into 8 ties played over 1 match. The draw was held on the 14th of December 2015. The 8 second-round winners from the domestic champions path were drawn against the 8 group runners-up for the UEFA Champions League path, with the teams from the domestic champions path hosting the match. Teams from the same association could not be drawn against each other. The 8 playoff winners advanced to the round of 16, where they were joined by the 8 group winners from the UEFA Champions League path. The playoffs were played on 9 and the 10th of February 2016. If the scores were level after full time, the match was decided by a penalty shootout. Knockout phase. For the knockout phase, the 16 teams were drawn into a single elimination tournament, with all ties played over 1 match. The draw was held on the 15th of February 2016. The mechanism of the draws for each round was as follows. In the draw for the round of 16, the 8 group winners from the UEFA Champions League path were drawn against the 8 playoff winners. Teams from the same UEFA Champions League path group could not be drawn against each other, but teams from the same association could be drawn against each other. The draw also decided the home team for each round of 16 match. In the draws for the quarterfinals onwards, there were no seedings, and teams from the same UEFA Champions League path group or the same association could be drawn against each other. The draws also decided the home team for each quarterfinal, and the home team for administrative purposes for each semi-final and final. If the scores were level after full time, the match was decided by a penalty shootout. The round of 16 matches were played on 23 and the 24th of February 2016. Notes: Quarter-finals. The quarter-finals were played on 8, 9 and 15 March 2016. Semi-finals. The semi-finals were played on 15 April 2016 at Calavry Stadium, Nyon. The final was played on 18 April 2016 at Calavry Stadium, Nyon. Statistics. Top goal scorers. Source: UEFA. Top assists. Source: UEFA.